all the right things for all the wrong reasons. And to someone who is gullible, to someone who doesn't pay attention to people's facial expressions, and even what I call your baseline expression, which in my book is, it's your tendency. Do you tend to be someone who is kind and giving and thoughtful? Do you tend to be someone who's selfish, sinister, greedy, lie a lot? You know, what is your tendency? And you can see it even in their baseline expression. Basically, it's an expression that they wear constantly. That's why I call it baseline. The other part of it is just, you know, knowing what to look for. And to a certain extent, I think I just, as a child, I had a gift for seeing things like this in people. Also, as a child, I was abused, so I really severely abused. So I never had any reason to trust anyone blindly. And so I think there's two problems here. People trust blindly what people say and do. They trust it blindly. They don't think about the intent behind it. And we're accustomed to ignoring a lot of these expressions that reveal greed, that reveal deceit, that reveal, I don't know, even compassion and love. Right? We're accustomed to not reading into that. And so while I think that, yes, it's just kind of a natural ability I was born with, I think most of it, maybe not all of it, but most of it is something tangible that people can actually learn themselves, had they be provided with the tools to do so. So for anyone who doesn't see what I see, they see somebody who they just immediately fall in love with. And I mean, can you blame them if they don't see what I see? No, I don't blame them. If they're too blind and naive and they cannot see, you know, there's an old expression that has lasted throughout many centuries and many different cultures and countries all around the world. It dates back to indigenous times. But most of those places, it's so old of a saying that it dates back to indigenous times. What is that saying? The eyes are the gateway to the soul, meaning you can see someone's true nature through the expression in their eyes. And that's completely true. And it really does, it rips my heart away to see someone doing an immense amount of good for all the wrong reasons, because couldn't they just be doing it for genuine reasons? Now, it angers me less, I guess, as long as they don't do anything bad. It angers me less than people who do all the wrong things. At least she's doing a bunch of right things. But I have a question. I have an immense burning question in the back of my mind. In a minute, I'm going to point out all the things that you can see physically in the facial expressions that give away that her intent is not genuine. But first, this is my question. How much money do people give her? Because we know she's a narcissist, we know she needs the attention, but she strikes me as somebody a little more complex than that. You know, she strikes me as somebody that's not the only reason why she's doing it. How much money do they give her? And how do you know for sure that all the money that's being given is actually going to causes, to things that people are passionate about? Because this really does look like the kind of person who is all in it for the money. She's got a very beady-eyed, greedy grin. Her eyes look exceptionally arrogant, and I'm just like, I know something you don't. What is that something that we don't know? Is that something we don't know? Perhaps maybe that you're stealing a whole bunch of money that's supposed to be going to good cause? Is that the something that you're saying, I know this and you don't? Try to figure it out. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. If not the only, maybe one of. So elated, she'd almost think that she's on ecstasy, with how much pleasure she gets. You can see it plain as day, in all of these different screenshots that I did from Sky News. You can see it plain as day. If you really look at her expression, how much she's enjoying herself. She's enjoying herself way too much to be genuine about it. Someone who's really genuine about the cause doesn't act like that. Someone who's really genuine about the cause doesn't sit there and smirk with arrogant eyes and look like they're so elated they're on ecstasy, like they're so pleased. I'm sorry, but I hate to be that shrewd, but the people who really, truly do things for the cause and not for publicity, not for fame, not for money, that people donate to you, that you may or may not be, shall I say, may or may not be stealing from. People who really do this for the right reasons are doing it because they care. And their eyes are full of sorrow, compassion, maybe even rage for taking them away, for, even if they're very confident that, oh, we will win, those eyes are still filled with a very different kind of passion. Rage towards the people, either way, and that are preventing them from getting what they need, and just a bit of compassion and love that is missing in her eyes. There's no love. It's actually a really rare, nowadays, it's a really rare emotion. So I don't blame you if you've never seen it in someone's eyes before, because true compassion is hard to find. People are so selfish nowadays. But I don't think she even has the ability to love anyone but herself. So I said she's a narcissist, but I really think she's a sociopath. Because this level, she's not just doing it to get attention. That's what a narcissist does. She's doing it because she gets pleasure out of it. She gets true pleasure out of seeing people, flock to her every woman will, to fucking up things with authority. But again, there's something much more sinister going on. Because that look in those eyes, that's not your typical look, pay attention, look at me. If you want to see your typical pay attention to me, look at me, watch the one that I did about the lass that owns Emmanuel, that viral emu. Look at the one I did for her. That's the pay attention, look at me. This is not pay attention, look to me. Okay, this is actually let's just put them side by side for a moment. Pay attention, look at me, and the arrogant, oh, look at all these people that are looking at me. Look how much control I have over them. I'm elated with how much control I have over them. And what they don't know, I know something they don't know, and it's probably that I'm stealing money from them. It's a lot more complex than just, hey, look at me over here. Can you point out the difference? Because I sure can. Give you a moment. Study it. Really study it. Can you see the difference? One pair of eyes is really hungry and greedy and selfish. The other eyes is selfish with a way more arrogance and a sinister look as well added to it. That look of, I know something you don't, and I'm happy about it. The more I point out what these people look like, I feel like the more people will understand and start to go, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I see it now. But there's certain things that I cannot possibly explain without showing examples. So what I do is I just look at my feed, and every once in a while something pops up I think is noteworthy, and I use it as an example. So many other things later, hopefully, you find a rhyme or reason to what I'm getting at. But until then, I guess you're just gonna have to trust me. You know, I can tell when people are lying. I can tell when people are genuine and when they're not genuine, and she is not genuine. So as long as she's not presumably stealing eons of money from people, which, let's just face it, she probably is, but as long as she's not, and as long as she's not doing anything else that's sinister, which I highly doubt, we'll just give her the benefit of the doubt for a minute, okay? If that lass is not doing anything detrimental, then let her have her, pleasure, if you will. Because, you know what? I got a lot bigger battles to fight. If she's going to do all the right things for all the wrong reasons, at least she's doing all the right things. See what I'm saying? But she did make a very good example, so I hope that helps you out a bit. And maybe one day, something's going to come out, maybe, I don't know, long time from now. Like a lot of activists, a ton of activists, and even politicians. Maybe eventually one day something's going to come out. They finally figure out that she stole money. I would not be surprised. What other motive could that be, though? If it's not money, what else? Because the I know something you don't definitely is there. So what else could she possibly be doing? I mean,